Imagine being sealed inside a steel coffin, hunted from above, and one mistake away from a watery grave. No sunlight, no escape, just the endless pressure of the deep and the constant threat of destruction. This was life aboard a German U-boat, where every mission could be your last. Before we start, if you happen to enjoy this video and find value in it, I would greatly appreciate it if you left a like so that more people may be able to find it. Additionally, if you don't want to miss out on more videos, why not subscribe? That way you will be notified every time I upload a new video. Let's get started now, shall we? German U-boats, short for Unterseeboot, undersea boat. They were submarines that became one of Nazi Germany's most feared naval weapons during both world wars. These steel vessels represented Germany's attempt to break the naval blockades imposed by Allied forces and to disrupt crucial supply lines across the Atlantic. The U-boat program began in earnest during World War I. That's when Germany used unrestricted submarine warfare to target merchant ships carrying supplies to Britain, ultimately contributing to America's entry into the war after incidents like the sinking of the Lusitania. During World War II, U-boats reached their deadly peak during what became known as the Battle of the Atlantic. Operating in coordinated wolf packs, these submarines prowled the shipping lanes between North America and Britain, sinking over 3,500 Allied merchant vessels and warships. The U-boat fleet grew from just 57 submarines at the war's start to over 1,100 by its end, though Allied advances in radar, sonar, and code-breaking eventually turned the tide against them. By 1943, improved Allied anti-submarine warfare tactics and the breaking of German naval codes led to devastating losses for U-boat crews, with roughly 75% of the 40,000 German submariners losing their lives during the war. These cramped, dangerous vessels became both symbols of German naval ingenuity and floating tombs for thousands of young men. They endured months underwater in conditions that tested the limits of human endurance. Life on a German U-boat wasn't just dangerous. It was brutally uncomfortable. Temperatures in the North Atlantic could drop below freezing, and inside the sub, conditions weren't much better. The cramped quarters were damp, the air was stale, and warmth was a luxury no one could afford. Now imagine if those sailors had access to something like action heat. Heated base layers, gloves, socks, all powered by lightweight, rechargeable batteries. It wouldn't just be comfort, it would be survival. When you're submerged for weeks with no sunlight and bone-chilling cold seeping through the hull, that extra warmth could mean the difference between focus and fatigue, or worse. Today we have tech that those sailors could only dream of. Action heat brings the heat straight to your core, something every U-boat crewman would have killed for back then. Click the link below to stay warm. Life aboard a German U-boat was a claustrophobic nightmare that pushed human endurance to its absolute limits. These steel tubes, typically measuring only about 200 feet long and 20 feet wide, housed crews of 40 to 60 men for months at a time. Space was so scarce that sailors had to share bunks in rotating shifts, sleeping among torpedo tubes, machinery, and supplies. The air grew thick and stale within hours of submerging, reeking of diesel fumes, unwashed bodies, mold, and the ever-present smell of the boat's primitive toilet system. Condensation dripped constantly from the metal walls, soaking everything and everyone, while temperatures swung between stifling heat from the engines and bone-chilling cold in the depths of the Atlantic. The psychological toll was equally devastating. Submariners lived in constant fear of depth charges exploding around them, the hull-crushing pressure of deep dives, and the terrifying possibility of being trapped underwater if their boat was damaged. Many crew members never saw sunlight for weeks, which led to a pallor that earned them the nickname Gray Ghosts. Meals consisted of canned and preserved foods, that grew more rancid as voyages progressed, and fresh water was so precious that bathing became a luxury few could afford. The cramped quarters bred tension and conflict, while the deafening noise of machinery made rest nearly impossible. Perhaps most haunting of all was the knowledge that if their submarine was detected and attacked, escape was virtually impossible. The ocean floor became a mass grave for 3 out of every 4 U-boat crewmen who served during the war. The harrowing experiences of U-boat crews offer profound lessons about human resilience and adaptability that resonate strongly in today's world. These submariners demonstrated that people can endure seemingly impossible circumstances when they maintain strong bonds with their teammates and focus on their shared mission. In our modern workplace challenges, whether dealing with high-pressure deadlines, cramped office spaces, or difficult colleagues, we can learn from how U-boat crews developed systems of mutual support and clear communication protocols to survive in extreme conditions. Their experience teaches us that when facing overwhelming stress, breaking down large problems into manageable daily tasks and maintaining rigid routines can preserve both mental health and effectiveness. Perhaps the most powerful lesson from the U-boat experience is about the importance of perspective and gratitude in our daily lives. These men learned to find meaning and even moments of joy in the smallest things. A glimpse of sunlight through the periscope, a shared meal, or simply surviving another day. In our era of constant complaints about minor inconveniences like slow internet or traffic jams, the U-boat story reminds us how extraordinary our everyday freedoms truly are. We have the luxury of fresh air, clean water, privacy, and personal space that these sailors could only dream of. Their story also illustrates the critical importance of mental preparation and emotional resilience when facing uncertainty, showing us that our ability to adapt and support others during difficult times often determines not just our success, but our very survival. These lessons remind us that history isn't simply a collection of distant events, but a source of wisdom that can inform how we navigate our complex world today. With that being said, let's all learn from history together and apply those lessons to our lives.